Hello it's Pabu and welcome back to ZooCrafting. We are here atop the Moonbear exhibit because you may remember a week or so ago, I think it was probably more, I hosted a competition where you could win the chance to be a zookeeper in my zoo. Now it was a very hard decision as you all have such wonderful answers, but I have chosen a winner and I will show them off in just a moment. But first I thought I'd read a couple of the answers. Now remember, the question that I asked was, if you're an animal, which animal would you be? And the first answer comes from Saber Gamer, and they say, I think I would be a cheetah. I tend to run from my problems and I don't like to fight. However, if a fight is inevitable and it must happen, then I have to face my problems when I can't run anymore. And then the second one was from Philippe, and he said, it's a hard choice. I would like to be a Bornean orangutan. The Bornean species is less endangered than the Sumatran species because orangutans are great climbers and are rarely predated. But as the humans are decimating orangutans with the palm oil plantations, I would like to be a peregrine falcon because it's an apex predator, can fly, and is the fastest animal on the world that isn't endangered by humans. So I thought these were really good answers, but I had to go ahead and choose this next one as the winner. And this one comes from Emily, and it says, if I were an animal, I would be a moon bear because they're endangered and it would really help their population. They're really cool with a half moon on their chest and they really like watermelon. And I do too. I actually do donate to the Moon Bear Fund and they help save moon bears from illegal keeping. So of course, because it was so fitting and because of the kind deeds that Emily is doing towards the moon bears, helping them from not being hunted and stuff like that, I thought it would only be right to add Emily into the zoo. So here she is, and I hope I have done your skin justice, Emily. I've tried to make it as best as I can. I've added a little ponytail at the back there. It doesn't look great, but that's the best that you can do with NPCs. And of course, you are wearing the red hoodie like the rest of the zookeepers in the Oriental Zone. And if I right-click you, she will trade the Moon Bear Facts book for 12 of the Zookeeper experience. And you may remember whenever I did the episodes, I did read through the Moon Bear Facts book. So if you do want to see what was in that, you can just go back and check when I was building this exhibit. And you can also swap melon for Zookeeper experience, so you like feeding the moon bears melon. And of course Emily did say that she likes melon, so you could also feed it to her as well if you want. I don't actually know where this melon goes. But okay, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be heading over to the African zone and working on a brand new exhibit. Okay, so we're just going to pick up Chalfont here. I have kind of been eating Chalfont's scrambled egg, cheese and pork because I have been quite hungry, so I hope he doesn't mind. But we're going to be heading over there now. I could take the teleporter, but we might as well use the path because the path doesn't really lead anywhere except straight to the African zone. So yeah, we're going to follow it. Is Chalfont coming with us? He is. He is very interested because I have this food in my hand. Now, I do apologise for this video being so late. I've been very busy with uni work, and also my computer has been having some issues recently where the frame rate has kept dropping and I had no idea what was causing it, but I did update my drivers and my graphics card and everything. Not my graphics card, my graphics software, but it seems to have fixed it now. So we should all be good. So we're just gonna head on down here past Hunter and Diamond there, which were our other two new NPCs to the zoo, but I showed them off last episode, over to this location here. Now this is where we're going to be building the lion exhibit, and I don't have many resources. I don't actually have many calmness blocks on me, so I'm going to have to make a crafting station, well, place down a crafting station. You can't actually make crafting stations anymore, which is a bit of a nuisance, because I'm just going to waste this wood here, because if you pop that in there, it turns it into a railcraft workbench instead of a crafting table, so it's a bit of a nuisance. I might have to set up a trader to trade for some more of these things. But anyway, I'm going to be sidetracked. I'm going to pop this away because I don't actually need that. And I'm going to grab this limestone because we are going to be needing that a bit later. Why did that not stack? Oh, there we are. Okay, and I do need to make some calmness blocks so I can lay out the perimeter of this exhibit. So in one of these backpacks I have a load of oak wood here, and I'm just going to make a bit of room because I've got so much stuff in here that I'm not going to use. I can pop all these things away, that rotten flesh, some of these pig ears and things, because I've got enough food for Chalfont to feed to him. Don't need any of these leaves, maybe not the cobblestone. Yeah, I don't need any of this really. And I can pop some of these tools away as well, like this NPC wand, these shears. I might need the carpenter's hammer, so I'm going to keep it out, and I may need the pickaxe, so that's all good. I'm not going to need the bed because we do have permaday on. We are experiencing the joy of permanent sunlight. So yeah, that's it. Now I need to pop all of these in here to turn them all into planks, and then into sticks, and so on, so we get a nice lovely set of carpenter's blocks. So just give me a moment. Like so. Now I'm just going to check something really quickly because Minecraft does have like a statistics option, and I do want to see if carpenter's blocks are my most crafted block. How do I do that? Times crafted. Oh, does this not show like modded blocks? Is that not a thing? Oh, maybe that's not a thing. I thought it was. I thought I could check, but apparently not. So yeah, this is the line exhibit, and it is on a bit of a slope, but I really quite like that, so I think I'm going to keep it as it is. We're probably going to have like a bit of a straight edge up here though, so this patch of grass here probably be turned into like a food stand, like a hot dog stand or something. That'd be quite nice right next to the lion exhibit. And then I'd have to put up signs saying please do not feed your hot dogs to the lions. It would probably make them poorly. But I'm just going to start by placing down some of these carpenter's blocks. And here as well. Oops. I forgot that you can like build the carpenter's blocks inside of yourself. And I will be touching some of these things up as well, because straight lines and everything has got to be perfect. But yeah, I do like the way that this zoo is coming along. We can make that like that. In fact, we'll make it like 3 blocks. So we've got 3, 3, 3. Yeah, we'll do it in like sections of 3 because that would give it a nice straight edge. Well, a diagonal edge. So we can have that as the front. It will slope down, and we're going to have another path that leads off up here. Now this leads off to sort of this little lake. There's like an island in the middle, and I thought it'd be really cool if that's where we build the new Swan Lake Cafe. So of course I'm going to have to deforest a bit of the birch forest, but I'm sure it'll look cool when it's finished. We do have a lot of squid spawning in that river by the looks of things, and also a lot of animals that are stranded on there. We've got a horse, we've got a wild boar, we've got a panther, a fox, and a cow. Oh, and a raccoon down there. And yeah, we've also got a mouse or a rat. I'm not sure what that is. I think it's a mouse, but I didn't know they could swim. So there is quite a lot of wildlife in this area. In fact, perhaps I'll keep it like that. Perhaps I'll call it like the little nature reserve or something, and I won't touch that little area there. But I do want to build a Swan Lake Cafe there. So I'll be doing that in the future, but we've got lots of stuff around the park to build before we go ahead and do that, such as like the bat caves and gosh, just various other things everywhere. So we'll just carry on shaping this exhibit. As I said, the path would go off up there, so let's just place things like this. And Chalfont, please, I don't want to like suffocate you in carpenter's blocks. Not that that could happen, but I just want to be on the safe side. So yeah, we're going to have this up here like so, and I am going to give this sort of an African theme, like make it into sort of like a desert, so replacing this grass with like sand, maybe limestone, maybe some dried dirt and stuff. I think that would look quite nice. I also want to build like a little rockery at the back, so we do have this hill here. I'm going to extend this forward, build like a little wall over the front, like a little facade, and then I'm going to make a little tunnel that leads into sort of a den, like a lion's den or something. That would be quite nice, and we could call it like Pride Rock or something from like Lion King, but we shall see. But yeah, this is basically the rough outline. How far this way do I want to go? I think we may go all the way to the grass, and the wall is going to be like a mixture of limestone and glass as well, so that you can look into the exhibit, and so that it matches the other exhibits as well. I will be building a food prep room, which I don't know, where would I put that? would I be building a food prep room? I think I might go ahead and do so. In fact, I might be able to sort of build a food prep room like here in this little section, because you've got a wall surrounding the giraffe exhibit and you've got this area over here, so this space isn't going to be used, so I could turn it into like a food prep room or something, or just another area for the zookeepers to store all their goods or items or things. But no, I think that'd be good. So in order for me to remember, I'm just going to quickly craft a couple of signs so I can write those down as well. So let me just do this. Oops, that's not how I do it. How do I do it? Got to make those and those and pop those down as well. So yeah, like lion's den here, so den, and yeah, this will have like a little wall in front of it like this, and this will be like my technique of the random slopes and stairs to make it look a bit rocky. So we'll do that, and we'll have like a little den. It will be like a little tunnel. It will be bigger than this, of course, but just laying things out. And of course it's raining. And we'll place these like so. I was thinking of perhaps starting like a Pavo bingo, and every time it rains or something, you like tick off a checklist. Because that's happened every single ZooCrafting episode. But there we are. So this is the size of the lion exhibit. I think it's a decent enough size. Of course, we're going to have like a little area at the back as well, like some caves, which I think will probably even extend down to about here as well. I think that'd be quite nice because it gives them plenty of room to roam around. The only thing is, I do feel a bit bad that we were building it right next to the giraffe enclosure, because the lions will hunt the giraffe. So I was, maybe I could sort of build up the wall here so the lions can't see into the giraffe enclosure and vice versa. Although the giraffes do have their long necks, so they will be able to look over the wall and see the lions. So that's going to be a bit of an issue, but we'll get things all sorted out as well. So yeah, food prep room over here as well. So I'm going to write that down like that, and should we get started? I think we shall. So I do have these calmness blocks. I don't have many. I believe I have some slopes and some stairs in here. Once again, I don't have many of those, but we can just start by placing these things down. So just like destroying the blocks and things. Placing them where I think it would be necessary to place them. I don't know if any of you remember the lion exhibit back at my old zoo, but I really liked that. They didn't have as much space as they did here, and the security wasn't that great either because they only had a fence, and there was gaps in the fence that they could crawl through. But outside the front of that exhibit was a photo cutout board, you know, the sort of things you find at theme parks. That you can stick your head through and you can have like your pictures taken. So I'm gonna try and rebuild that as well because I really did like that. We also had a Zookeeper for the lions, and I can't remember, it was either Zookeeper Katumaka or Zookeeper Massimo. It was one of the two, but I will add them back into the this exhibit as soon as it is finished. There we are. Actually, I think I've made that a bit too low. Yeah, I think it's going to have to be a bit higher because yeah, you don't want the lions getting out. But yeah, I thought that would be a cool addition, like the photo cutout board to add to this exhibit. And you know, at the Moonbear exhibit, I made the Moonbear facts. I want to go around my zoo and add those fact books in for all the exhibits. I know that we do have the info signs as well, but just for any guests that want to wander around the zoo, they can find a bit more information about them. I know that Seri does something similar at her zoo, which is really, really cool. In fact, we should probably go and visit one of the other Zoocrafters zoos and get a bit of inspiration, because we haven't done that in a while. I don't think we've visited anybody's zoo on Series 2 of Zoocrafting, so we're going to have to go ahead and do that pretty soon. We did go and visit Seri's Doggy Bakery, as I said we would, so I got that ticked off my list, and that was really, really cool. But yeah, we definitely need to go visit. Like, I know Alex has his new zoo. I don't know how finished it is, but he did build the Christmas event, and that was honestly incredible. So I'd love to see what he's building currently. And then we've got Jacob. Actually, we have visited Jacob's place, haven't we? That place is awesome. Let's knock that back as well. It will look a lot better when this is filled in with limestone. And we can put a stair there like that. Oops, I really wanted you to be upside down. Nope, is this not going to work today? I guess not. We'll have to spin you around with the hammer. Well, upside down with a hammer, there we are. That's the one I wanted. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's all good, that's all good. And we're going to just carry it on a bit in this direction as well. So we're going to raise this up. And I really wish it would stop raining because it is kind of distracting. I've got a wet dog here who actually does need feeding, so let's give him, what should we give him? I guess some of the scrambled egg, cheese and pork, because I don't want to give him any of those nasty pig ears. Look, his tail is wagging, but he seems to be running away, so I don't know whether he wants it or not. I'm sure he does, yeah, there we are, he seems to be happy. I think it's just because I've been waving it in his face for quite a while, so I think he thinks I'm teasing him. So we're just going to add some more of these. And of course I do have to make it so that the lions don't climb out. I am sort of basing this exhibit on the lion exhibit at Chester Zoo, though that exhibit does not have much. It is really just a bit of sand and dirt and I think a couple of trees, like a couple of climbing trees. Excuse me, Java. But I'll try add like some heat rocks and things, and of course this is meant to be Africa, so we'll have to change up these biomes because it doesn't quite rain like this in the African deserts and places and jungles. So let's add some more of these. I am going to run out of these very soon, so I might have to go grab some more, and we can place another one there, but we'll knock it back a bit. Though, yeah, that would be fine. We can add a slope there, and a stair up here, or on top of the slope. I think that would look good. Yeah, like that, and that there. Yeah, sure, that would be fine. I will have to add a bit more depth to it, and I will fill it in limestone. But before I end the episode, I just want to do a quick bit of terraforming just to alter the shape of this, because I am going to keep the slope. In fact, this area here that's a bit dipped down, I will fill in with water, but the rest I will turn into sand, though I don't have any sand on me currently, so I'm going to have to go to the sand collection desert to do that. But let me grab my shovel, my spade rather, and I'm just going to make this look a bit neater, like a bit of a smoother curve. So that like visitors can sort of see the lions as well, so they're not hiding behind blocks of grass. Well, it will be sand, but you know what I mean. Yeah, like that. And I think I'm just going to change this up a bit as well. Yeah, there we are. We have a smooth curve, and I am going to eat a bit of this. Oh, he just looked at me doing that. Here you are. You saw nothing. Oh, there you are. Now you saw nothing. But yeah, so this is another exhibit that we are making progress towards, and I am going to go ahead and also leave a straw poll in the description and in the comments as well for which exhibit you'd like me to see next, because, well, it's up to you how we shape this park. So thank you all for watching. As always, the code is on screen. Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you all in the next time. Goodbye. Bye.